What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from Anime Up. We're back at it again to discuss the latest and craziest developments in the One Piece story. Today we got massive Straw Hat power upgrades that continue to shock and propel the Straw Hats to Yonko level crew and eventually beyond, so make sure to stay tuned for this one. If you do enjoy seeing these One Piece reviews and want to keep them coming, the best thing you could do is channel the Pirate King within and smash that like button like it was a giant Azure dragon. Remember that smashing that like button is Pirate King energy and passing is Orochi energy, so choose wisely. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe, and this is crucial. Hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications or you will miss future One Piece videos. And while you wait for the next chapter to drop, feel free to check out my growing One Piece playlist that includes videos on all the Yonko, Warlords, Supernovas, Admirals, and much more. Link to that is in the description. Now without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. This week we got Luffy on the cover of Shonen Jump letting us know there will be a trivia event commemorating the quote-unquote climax of the Beasts-Pirates conflict. A hype sentence in and of itself. And we also get a cover spread of the Straw Hats dressed as video game characters, like Zoro dressed as Link and Frankie seemingly as Donkey Kong. Love this, and Robin and Nami are looking fine as usual, as Robin is in her demon form and Nami is the gamer girl playing against Usopp. But let's get to the chapter itself, as CP0 are discussing the fact that there is another dragon besides Kaido and that it even matches the Devil Fruit Vegapunk made. And this ability to effectively clone any Devil Fruit perhaps as many times as you want is just insane to think about when we start looking at OP fruits like Kaido's or the Tremor fruit or the Dark fruit. Although this is crazy info, CP0 seems calm about it, thinking it will just help the two sides take each other out. The bombshells finally dropped that in the unlikely case that Kaido is defeated, it's been decided that the world government will annex the independent land of Wano. This is how war often works and what Blackbeard did so well in the Paramount War. If you have two enemies, as every Risk player knows, let them fight it out while you build up resources in Australia. Then when the forces are weak, you swoop in and take the easy W with minimal losses. I'm not at all surprised that the world government would plan this, but I do wonder who else may be preparing a similar plan, like Blackbeard for instance, and why are they adamant about only attacking if Luffy wins, especially if Kaido's side is heavily weakened. But I suppose they have too much respect for the Yonko's strength to risk that, and in their defense, they probably thought the Straw Hats wouldn't even tire out Kaido's forces that much. Still, on the other side of the line, the question comes, how likely is it that the ships already on their way to Wano will be needed? And he's told that despite the switch from 30,000 Kaido men versus 5,400 samurai men pre-fight to 12,000 Kaido men in the present versus 8,000 samurai, our CP0 Go player still can't even picture Kaido losing. Despite the fact that it seems like momentum is definitely on our side, it's still not even thinkable that Kaido could lose. That definitely begs the question, if they're so sure, why waste forces waiting around and doing nothing? But I guess the opportunity, aka the risk-reward ratio, is just too good to pass up if by some miracle Kaido loses. They'd get to take the strongest creature in the world's territory, which would be such a huge demonstration of power for the world government. It would boost their reputation to no end, and they could finally squash the Luffy who embarrassed them big time by doing stuff like causing a massive prison break. We see that Rob Lucci is the one on the other end, and he agrees that he can't picture Kaido losing, but he says there's another order concerning the Straw Hats, the capture of Nico Robin. So even if Kaido wins, that's something they do want enough to prioritize over almost everything else right now. It's not the first time Rob's chased Robin, but it definitely adds even more drama to this literal powder keg of a conflict right now. Obviously, this leads to the possibility of Brook getting into a big fight in order to keep Robin safe, which he hasn't had yet in this arc, unlike Robin herself, whose victory over Black Maria was just insanely good. I gotta give props to Oda for just how packed and insane this war is right now. We have Luffy fighting the strongest creature in the world, Big Mom fighting Kid and Law, Zoro and Sanji fighting Kaido's strongest commanders, the island about to fall and explode if Kaido gets too tired. If he doesn't get too tired, it's about to land on the capital. There's a successful clone of Kaido's mythical zone fruit in Momo, who's aged 20 years. There's another new mythical zone in Yamato. Now the Marines are preparing their attack while they also target Nico Robin again, and that's only some of the stuff we know so far. Shanks and Blackbeard are just two other of the many hype characters that may well show up here as well. My god, what a climax this will be. It really seems all but hopeless right now for the Straw Straw Hats because if Luffy somehow beats Kaido, which many people can't even imagine, then A, the island might explode, and B, if it doesn't, the Marines are going to be waiting for them. We may really need something like Shanks showing up at the Paramount War to ensure the survival of the tired Straw Hats after this conflict. Let me know what you expect to happen. What will save the Straw Hats from the Marines after they barely overcome Kaido's forces? We get a quick scene of the pervy gentleman Brook taking great pride in protecting Nami, and she praises him for it. I absolutely love this dynamic, just gotta say that. We then turn to Momo freaking out as usual because they are only 5 minutes away and the clouds aren't coming out as intended. The classic anime snot drips out of Momo's dragon nose as he faces the fact that countless people will die if he can't pull this off. In the meantime, Yamato is trying to make sure the oversized bomb doesn't go off in her own way. She told Momo she may be able to minimize the potential damage, and if she doesn't do something, the number of casualties will be way worse should the worst happen. Since she did this, it's not as easy to believe that Momo will straightforwardly solve the problem as first expected, or else why would Oda have Yamato pointlessly go there? There will be a point here if it's only for her to encounter another character or for her to have access to the explosive to use in another way later. We shall see. Perhaps Momo will succeed in cushioning the blow with his clouds and guiding the castle away from the capital, but the bombs will still have to be dealt with, or else the explosion still would have been big enough to wipe out the city. That way everyone contributes something to the ultimate saving of the capital, and it would make a lot of sense since this mythical wolf zone is the guardian deity of Wano. We also see Yamato's full wolf form, which looks great, and people remark that it's huge as well. We then jump to one of the biggest fights, Sanji versus Queen. Queen is begging for Sanji to get serious and use the raid suit like he did against King. It's funny to see how he's jealous that he's not getting the same treatment King got, even though King seems ready to use any means necessary to beat Zoro, totally unconcerned if Zoro is actually at his best or not. Sanji tells Queen that he won't use the crappy suit, he doesn't want to be associated with that family. He lands a kick on Queen that does impress the commander, but doesn't really have any lasting effects or slow him down. Sanji seems tired while Queen changes into his dino form ready for more. Sanji thinks about what he can do to Queen's insanely tough dino hide. Queen finally promises to show the unaltered raw power of a dinosaur, the beast that ruled the world for over 100 million years. Everyone is getting excited to see the true power of an ancient beast, and then he uses the move Brachiosaur Hiss, and to everyone's shock, as if they were seeing a triceracopter, Queen's head and tail are launched, giving him the body of a snake. And as if all that talk about true power and not using augmentations wasn't funny enough, as he wraps around Sanji, he even says that this serpentine form is the true nature of the Brachiosaurus. Obviously that's not the case, dinosaurs don't just rocket out of their bodies whenever they feel like it to attack an opponent, but it very much adds to the humor of the triceracopter we saw before. I'm just thinking that some little kids might really start saying in a class about dinosaurs that the true nature of a triceratops is that of a helicopter and a Brachiosaurus is that of a giant snake. Queen says no one's ever escaped his brachial hold, which adds to the tension, but I can't help but think we hear stuff like that all the time with strong attacks in shonen and anime. We're told no one survived after this attack and so on and so forth, only for our protagonist to obviously survive, but this one is really giving Sanji trouble, and Queen even says that tons of armament hockey masters have had their bones crushed under this pressure, their innards damaged beyond repair. Queen is talking big, saying that he expected more from Judge's brat. He then offers to let him go if Sanji shows him the capabilities of 𝕔𝕚𝕚, and Sanji refuses despite the pain he's undergoing. You gotta love how both Zoro and Sanji are bosses when it comes to handling pain and refusing to give in just because of pain. Queen goes on to explain that things are even worse than they look, and they do look really bad for Sanji right now. His body is not just shedded skin. Because he's a scientist, he's equipped launchers so that they could blow Sanji up after his bones and innards are destroyed. But it launches prematurely, hitting Queen. He snaps, saying that he was just referencing it and he didn't say to use it. But when when he says he didn't say to use it, he does say use it, and it launches again, hitting Queen so he can really feel it this time and freeing Sanji, who looks like a zombie because he's been crushed so bad. Queen even thinks he's as good as dead, and he probably would be under different circumstances, but shockingly, Sanji just says it stings a bit, but he can still move. All the bones in his body are broken, but then they all heal, and Sanji realizes he's unlocked the same ability as his siblings, allowing him to take much more damage and heal at an extraordinary rate. Even more shocking, Queen goes to slice him with a sword. To slice him, and the sword breaks off of Sanji's face. It's funny how instead of being relieved, Sanji is mad, saying he doesn't want to become a monster too, and that's the perfect word choice as well. With this matchup, it still felt like Sanji was getting his monster trio respect, since Jinbei handled Atobi-Roppo instead of Queen. And now with this power up, it looks like the matchup will make sense, and the monster trio of Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji may well continue to remain supreme, despite all the other strong members that the crew has now. Love to see Sanji getting this treatment, and even Queen is upset and sweating now, as the narrator tells us, and I quote, "awakening to new powers," end quote. This is the perfect matchup too, as Queen will probably have to face not only the physical battle, but accept that the technology that allowed Sanji to become this monster may be superior than what he can do, which would be the ultimate hit to his ego. Amazing stuff in an amazing chapter overall. As always, let me know your thoughts on it and what you most look forward to happening next. Who was your MVP here? Obviously, I gotta go with my boy Sanji. This power was heavily foreshadowed, but the extent of it is crazy. Imagine breaking off a Yonko commander's sword with your face and being annoyed by how strong you are. What a true monster he's become, and I love it. I especially love that Sanji can be this strong without the suit and while maintaining his own cool style that we've gotten to know so well. If you did enjoy this video and want to keep them coming, channel the Pirate King within and smash that like button like it was a giant snake shooting out of a dinosaur body. Remember that smashing that like button is Pirate King energy and passing is Orochi energy, so choose wisely. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe, and this is crucial. Hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications or you will miss future One Piece videos. And while you wait for the next chapter to drop, feel free to check out my growing One Piece playlist that includes videos on all the Yonko, Warlords, Supernova, Admirals, and much more. Link to that is in the description. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.